What is going on, guys? Another day on the motorway right now, hence why the camera's down here. And yeah, just living life, I guess. Man, I don't know what to say in this video today. As you guys know, I'm on the journey of making a YouTube video every single day for 365 days. So we all know that there's some days where I don't know what I want to talk about. Today is one of them days. I was meant to go to the gym later. I'll probably still go, actually. No, I'll probably still go. It's a deload week, so I'm not fully training, just 50%. Not till failure like usual. So it's a weird week. I'm basically cruising through life. Not only in the gym, not only in finances, not only in work. I'm just doing a couple jobs for my dad at the minute whilst I wait for this job interview on Monday. I think the first one's a phone interview, so I'll get straight through that, and then it will be the actual interview. And I'm not too stressed about it. I feel like I was speaking to someone just now in my Instagram DMs about cold calling, what I was doing towards the start of the year, and I feel like it really improved my speaking and my confidence in general. Not only that, this YouTube really helped me to speak. When I first started YouTube, well, let me go all the way back. Before I started drinking, I was this extremely shy person. I couldn't speak to anyone. I mean, I'd even go around to friends' houses to like knock on for them, you know, like you used to knock on and ask you. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but in the UK we used to knock on and ask, oh, is Harry coming out tonight, or something like that. And I used to be so fucking nervous even to do something like that. Obviously that sounds stupid, but I just couldn't speak to anyone. I had zero confidence. I was very insecure, massively insecure. And when I think about where I am now compared to where I was maybe 7 years ago, I have changed so much. Anyway, as I was saying, when I was a child I was really insecure, and then I found alcohol and drugs, and it made me able to speak. It made me be the most charismatic person I've ever imagined. It gave me this edge that I never had in my life. And I could speak to anyone, you know. I could never go up to a girl. I could never speak to guys. I could never speak to anyone, really. But give me that alcohol, that liquid confidence, maybe a line of cocaine, I will speak to anyone. I might know you for an hour and tell you my whole life story, and there'll be a lot of people who can relate with this as well. So I went from this very insecure child to finding alcohol, and it was like that magic liquid what just took the edge off life. Cruised along doing that for 6 to 7 years, hit rock bottom, and then had to get sober, or had the blessing of getting sober. And then I kind of almost went back to my childlike state where I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the alcohol anymore, so I can't speak the way that I used to. And then I think I probably came to a little bit of a realization that, look, if I could do that with alcohol, then I could do it without anything in me. That was just my kind of brain tweaking that, okay, I got this dopamine from the alcohol, which made me able to talk to people. If I can do it with that little bit of or loads of dopamine through alcohol, there's no reason why I can't do it anyway. And look, it's way harder because obviously alcohol lowers your inhibition, if that's the word. It lowers that nervousness, it lowers anxiety to the point where you'd say really fucking weird shit. I'd come out with probably quite rude stuff under the influence of alcohol, because there's not that barrier. When you're in real life sober, there's that, okay, there's things I shouldn't say, there's things that are stepping over the line, there's things that are just straight up rude. And alcohol completely numbs that part of your brain, so you don't give a shit what you say. Hence why the next day you'll get this feeling of, what did I say? Or maybe you'll remember things that you said and you're like, oh, it's just, oh, I used to get them feelings where it was like the shame, the guilt. I'd want to get out my own skin the next day. I'd sit there in bed repeating the conversations from the night before and think, why the hell did I say that? So I went from this insecure kid to this extremely confident, cocky, egotistical wanker who used drugs and alcohol, which not everyone would have seen. You know, I could probably taper it in the less I drank. It would just take that edge off in normal social interactions. But if I took it over the top, yeah, there was a few nights where I think people definitely probably told me to fuck off and leave me alone. And then I went back to the childlike state. I got sober and I had to rebuild my confidence, and I realised that, okay, if I could do it with all the drugs and alcohol, then I can do it sober. And it would take more building, but it would happen. And I built the YouTube, and I was able to speak to the camera. If you go back to my first videos, I was probably a lot worse at speaking, whereas now, okay, maybe I'll stumble on the odd word, maybe I'll stutter very rarely, but I can speak to the camera with no nervousness. Like, I'm not even speaking to anyone without realising I have 375 subscribers at this moment in time. Everything takes practice, man. Everything takes practice, and practice makes perfect is bullshit. You'll never be perfect at anything, but you will massively improve with the more that you repeat things. The more that you repeat something, the better you will be at it. Simple as that. The more I repeated drinking, well, probably the worse it got, to be fair. But yeah, I'm in this weird state now where I worked so hard this year, you know? I don't want anyone to think that, oh, I just gave up on everything. No, I fucking worked hard this year, and I got to the point where it was like, okay, this work is getting me nowhere. So it's not like I doubt that I can work hard. In fact, this year I worked the hardest I've ever worked and received the least value financial wise in my life. But I've had this period of sobriety, what's really made me, okay, maybe I needed this year of not making any money to actually realise, okay, I've built that foundation now. I've got the confidence, I've gone through the experiences, I've had life experiences which has built some character. Now it's time to make the money. And I'm not in a rush to do that. I'm in the position now where obviously I'm getting this job, but that's definitely not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm in the position now where I really want to find my thing. So I think the next step for me is really trial and error in different things. Whether it's moving into closing, so where you close deals. Before I was appointment setting, where I'd schedule calls, sales calls. I'd schedule for a business owner sales calls where they would then close the deal. Maybe now I edge into closing deals, because sales at the end of the day is a skill that will never, you'll have it for your whole life. It's a skill that is so valuable, and you can go into any business if you can sell. For starters, you can sell yourself in a job interview, but secondly, you can sell in any business. Sales is one fundamental skill which every single business needs. So I think closing, which of course is going to be valuable for me anyway, because I still am building my personal brand on Instagram, where I technically jump on sales calls. I don't see them as sales calls, I see them as helping people. But at the end of the day, when someone messages me on Instagram and says, I really need help, can you coach me? When I jump on the call with them, as sad as it sounds, it is a sales call. I thought I missed the junction there, but sales is one skill that you're never going to lose. And probably without realising it at the time, that's why I went into appointment setting, because it was remote sales. But yeah, it's a weird time in my life. I feel like I've had a good year of this individualization process, where I've sat in solitude away from the world and really figured out who I am, what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, what I value, what my morals are. And there's always work, there's always things to work on, of course. If there was nothing to work on and we were idle, then what would life be? There's always things to work on, man. There's always things to improve. Don't put yourself down and think, I'm so far behind people. It's one thing I always struggled with. I'd always sit there and think, I'm so far behind everyone else. Why are you comparing yourself to everyone else? Life is beautiful because you're on your own journey. And the life that someone else lives is going to be completely different to yours. Just live true to you. As a lot of you know, I've got be true to yourself in Latin on my chest. I got that because there was times where I wasn't being true to myself, and I like to live true to me. If I don't agree with something, if it's not necessarily, say if I had to get a job and I had to lick people's asses all day, I'm not going to do it because I'm very straight to the point. I don't like bullshit. If I don't agree with you, I don't like you, I just won't spend time around you. I'll just withdraw myself from the situation. Hence why I spend a lot of time alone, reading. That's what I like. I like peace. If it costs you your peace, it's not worth it. It's really that simple. Anyway, a little rant on the motorway. You guys, by making this video, I've realised, how can I be the guy who preaches self-improvement, self-development, and say I'm not going to the gym tonight, which I would have still got my 4 sessions complete. I would have just gone Saturday because I'm working, I'm driving to Scotland tomorrow. I would have just gone Saturday and Sunday. But instead, I'll go tonight, I'll get the session done. I'm having salmon and rice tonight, a little bit of teriyaki sauce to, well, not spice it up, sweeten it up, I guess. And I'll get a good early night, you know. I've just been prioritising my peace recently. And I've been enjoying it, I've been happy. Kind of lost myself for a month. Felt unaligned. Fell back into scrolling, bad habits. Oh yeah, I'm still not... it's day 2, Zach. You're still not scrolling. Great, but no, I'm still not scrolling. Day 2, I'm enjoying it. I feel like coming off my phone has given me the peace that I was lacking. It's made me make more time for myself, my mental health, reading, building knowledge, because knowledge is power. I'm going to leave it on that note. Guys, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye.